Charmaine. Welcome to this year's graduation ceremony. I'm Dr. Jonah Rice, president of the college, and it's a little different this year, but at least we're here as opposed to last year. This year's ceremony will be unlike any other ceremony we've ever had, but as I said, at least we're here. And we appreciate your understanding for our concern for your safety. But as staff and I talked and the faculty, we just could not skip another year. We had to celebrate your accomplishments. The year in review has been very different as well. We transitioned from being a remote educational institution to a hybrid educational institution, and we began to return to normal and hope to be so very, very soon. In fact, this summer. Because of the sacrifices that many of you have made and the great adaptability on from what our faculty have demonstrated and staff, we had no outbreaks on campus, and we've been safe all the way around. And so I commend all of you for a job well done. This year, we began many new initiatives that are exciting. We began our Fresh Start Scholarship for returning students. We had successful launches of new teams and academic programs. We saw exciting baseball and softball games. We even saw theater productions, albeit in remote delivery, but over 2,000 grade school students got to see a children's theater production of Schoolhouse Rock Jr. Just an amazing audience, and I saw the pictures from the schools. They were actually quiet, so you know it was a good production if you can quieten 2,000 children. We saw musical concerts in the same kind of special delivery and so much more. We also celebrated national championship and international championship speech team titles. Those don't come along very often, and so we are extremely proud of that. Southeastern also received the Heise Estate Gift, the largest estate gift in SIC history and the largest in our region for any other college. Southeastern has begun the long-awaited work on the Carmi Center expansion through funds from the state, and that project has been on the books since the time of Dr. Ben Cullers, the third president of Southeastern. That was decades ago. So we're excited to be able to serve business and industry in that area and look forward to announcing the completion of that project very soon. Southeastern continues to lead our peers in academic rankings, such as our nursing pass rates, which just amaze us year after year, the great work done in that area. We see great completion rates in comparison to our peers, and that's testimony to everybody on campus who helps a student understand, who helps take time to get a student through a class. Our faculty and staff have met the challenges of dealing with the pandemic with true determination, with great professionalism to ensure that you students received what you came here for. Of course, because of all of this, your accomplishments, students, were magnified. While you've been a part of all these great accomplishments, yours today is the greatest of all. Your presence here serves as evidence of your accomplishment like few others before you. To continue to charge ahead and complete your degree during this global pandemic is something for which you have to be proud. Your perseverance is admirable. Your grit is noble. Your reward is noted and admired by all of us. And so with that said, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Colin Sexton, our Phi Theta Kappa president, who will introduce a very special guest with us here today.
My name is Colin Sexton, and I am a member of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society at Southeastern. Each year, the Mu Psi chapter of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and Southeastern choose an outstanding alumnus to be honored at commencement. This year, we are honored to present Terry L. Severson. Originally from Chicago, Mr. Severson is a 1984 forestry graduate of SIC. He is currently the Forest Fire Management Officer with Hoosier National Forest in Tell City, Indiana. Upon graduation from SIC, Mr. Severson joined the Peace Corps and spent 27 months of service in Kenya. He then returned to Illinois to earn a Bachelor of Science in Natural Resource Management from SIU Carbondale. Since then, he has become a leader in his field and has answered the call to service in times of national crises, such as Hurricane Katrina's landfall in 2005 and Deepwater Horizon oil spill of 2010. He has also served with the Forest Service International Programs as the Chief of Party on 3 fire management missions to the Congo to teach on prescribed fire management, and his team was awarded the Chiefs Award in 2016 for applying knowledge globally. Without further ado, I introduce to you your 2021 Distinguished Alumnus and Keynote Speaker, Terry L. Severson.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Terry L. Severson. I graduated from Southeastern Illinois College in 1984. That's a long time ago, but it seems like it was only yesterday. I'm extremely honored to receive this award today. It was 2 years in coming. But I'm glad you guys stuck with me. I can't really claim to be a scholar or to have everything figured out because really I'm just a wildland firefighter at heart. But I can impart to you as recent graduates what I consider to be the 4 pillars that make up the foundation of a successful career, at least for me. Think of the legs of a chair, if you will. When one is missing, the table or chair does not function. In my life, these pillars of success are directly related to the happiness I've had throughout my long career in natural resource management. That first and potentially the most important pillar is trust. And not trust as it relates to trusting other people, but to trust yourself. While it is important to listen to counsel from both family and friends, you and you alone should ultimately make decisions that really is going to dictate the direction of your life. Trust your judgment. Trust your decisions. Trust that you will make mistakes, because we all have, but they will be your mistakes. Do not let anyone dissuade you from living your dream. As I said in my introduction, I was 22 years old working for a large paint manufacturer in Chicago. I saw an ad for a forestry technician program. What they didn't tell you is the ad said, "Do you like to do it in the woods?" That's what caught my eye for a forestry technician program here at SIC. I just purchased a new vehicle. I had a 401k, and I was making a pretty good living. To my mother, it was the makings of the American dream, what I had then. She had actually grown up picking tobacco just across the river in Kentucky. She never finished high school. She was a single parent who struggled to make ends meet and raised 2 boys in Chicago. I was the first graduate from high school in my immediate family. Attending college was neither encouraged nor expected, but the American dream was not my dream, or that American dream. I valued my mother's advice. I understood where she came from, but I saw a different future for myself. I knew I could be successful following my own path. I decided to leave my job, sell my new vehicle, and enroll here at SIC. On that day I left, my mother cried. In her world, you didn't quit a good job. You didn't give up a 401k. You didn't sell your car, and thought I was making a terrible mistake. In actuality, it turned out to be one of the most important decisions of my life. When it comes to making important decisions in your life, trust yourself, then stick with it. Stick with those decisions, You know yourself better than anyone else. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you want? What do you value? How do you want to contribute to the world? What direction do you want your life to go? That is for you to decide, you alone. Do not let someone else decide your path. Ralph Waldo Emerson, poet, essayist, and lecturer, wrote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." The second pillar, is overcoming fear. You and I manage fear daily in our professional as well as our personal lives. Certainly, fear is useful when it alerts us to real danger, but it can also be a barrier to our success and happiness. Each of us, at one time in our lives, has doubted ourselves and our abilities. That makes us vulnerable, and it makes us human. I implore each of you, look beyond the barrier. What do you see? What is on the other side of fear waiting for you? Understand fear as an obstacle that you have the power to overcome, and you will. Accept the challenge that fear provides, and remember that life is not a spectator sport. It is not meant to be lived on the sidelines. Push yourself through your fear, and you will be surprised what you can accomplish. Like many people, my biggest fear is the fear of failure. It drives me today. After I graduated from SIC, as they said, I decided to join the Peace Corps. I'd seen all those TV commercials back in 1984 that said, the toughest job you ever love. And I thought to myself, why couldn't that be me? I applied and they accepted me into the Kenya East Africa agroforestry program. But as my training began, I let that fear creep in a little bit. I was the only one in that training class of more than 30 with an associate's degree. Everyone else had bachelor's or master's degrees. Could I compete? Well, spoiler alert, I did compete. I competed well with those folks. Peace Corps training required us to give presentations, speeches, like I'm doing today, and then hands-on work as far as forestry and starting nurseries. I was comfortable with the hands-on stuff, but to be quite honest, public speaking just scared the heck out of me. To overcome my fear, I practiced. I practiced a lot. I woke up early, gave speeches to empty classrooms. I returned late at night and did the same thing. I did this repeatedly until I felt comfortable. I refused to let fear of failure be an obstacle to my success. In my Kenyan home, I taped a quote by Theodore Roosevelt on the wall that motivated me and still does today. It reads, "Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory or defeat." A full, successful life guarantees a series of victories and defeats. Learn from your failures. They are valuable lessons, valuable teachers. Use your fear to motivate you throughout your life, and always celebrate your victories. Today, we are celebrating one of those victories. You decided to further your education. You took a chance. You dared to fail, and you succeeded. And I applaud each and every one of you for a job well done. My third pillar for me is passion. No matter what you decide to do in life, no matter what career you decide to pursue, I wish and I hope that your work is or will become your passion. I've been extremely fortunate in my career that I felt a sense of passion for what I do for a living. I was passionate about being a Peace Corps volunteer in Kenya, and I am passionate about managing our nation's valuable natural resources. We often confuse passion with confidence. Passion has nothing to do with confidence. It means caring for something so deeply and believing in something so completely that it is bigger than you. It is really about how you see yourself contributing to society and the world. It is really what lights that fire inside of you. Harriet Tubman, enslaved woman, abolitionist, founder of the Underground Railroad, wrote, "Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world." My sincere hope for each and every one of you is that you will find your passion and continue to stoke that flame. The last pillar I want to talk about today is empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand and be sensitive to the experience and thoughts of others. This ability is essential when we have an awareness of how challenges, privileges, hardships, and our environment influence our worldviews. We can have thoughtful, productive discussions. In other words, try and take a few steps in someone else's shoes. Society is far too eager to criticize others without really doing the work. I do not know what it took for each of you to get here today. You may have overcome challenges. You may have had people in your life who perhaps did not support your college ambitions, people who did not believe in your dream. By assuming these things, I am trying to put myself in your shoes, and that alone furthers our understanding of one another. As you have probably guessed, my Peace Corps experience in Kenya has had a tremendous influence on my life. Each and every day, I'm reminded of my time overseas and my experience working and living in Africa. Please, for a moment, imagine that you are that Peace Corps volunteer who just arrived in an African village to begin a 2-year assignment. What preconceived notions did you have about that country, the continent, the people? What preconceived notions did the people of that tiny village have concerning Americans in general, this stranger, you? Were your expectations of Africa formed by watching old Tarzan movies, or perhaps coming to America, or maybe you heard of the great Zulu or Maasai warriors? What were the villagers' expectations of you? Were their expectations about Americans formed by old John Wayne movies, or perhaps the latest social media sensation? Not in 1984, they weren't. Most of these impressions are incorrect and simply stereotypes that do not capture the true essence of a people, a culture, or a country. Only through empathy, seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another, can we begin to understand one another and begin a constructive conversation. Today, we are celebrating a great milestone in your lives, an accomplishment that no doubt took tremendous dedication and effort. You are here today because of your commitment and perseverance. It has taken sacrifice and discipline. Celebrate this victory. Take pride in what you have accomplished here today. Where will you go from here? What path will you take? What contributions will you make? These decisions are yours. Make them wisely and honestly. Keep passion in your heart. Let fear motivate you, and let empathy guide you. I'd like to leave you today with the lyrics of my favorite singer-songwriter, who I saw down here in Southern Illinois, and fellow Illinoisan, the late, great John Prine, who wrote, "I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and I wish you all the best." Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2021.
Hello, my name is Dr. Karen Weiss, Vice President of Academic Affairs, and I'm here to present the candidates for the degrees. Mr. Chairman, these candidates have fulfilled the requirements as set forth by Southeastern Illinois College and the state of Illinois for the degrees listed in the program and are hereby presented to you for the conferring of those degrees.
Dr. Pat York, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. By the authority vested in me as Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Southeastern Illinois College and the state of Illinois, I hereby confer the degrees as listed in the program, together with the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Charday Lynn Hathaway, Associate in Science. Aubrey Danielle Anderson, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Callie Jane Oxford, Associate in Arts. Kayla Lee Saylor Sparks, Associate in Arts. Bodine Horston, Associate in Arts. Kimberly Horston, Associate in Arts. Madison Nicole Galloway, Associate in Science. Katie Cheyenne Woodruff, Associate in Arts. Brittany Mary Harrison, Associate in Science. Kennedy Alexis Simon, Associate in Arts. Paige Elizabeth Munns, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Sarah Renee Bernard, Associate in Arts. Colin Joseph Sexton, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Hannah Jo Barger, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Gabrielle Elizabeth Binky, Associate in Arts. Brianna Suzanne Belt, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Madison Grace Hungate, Associate in Arts. Amberlia Dawn Smith, Associate in Science. Addison Elizabeth Mays, Associate in Arts. Cooper William Craig, Associate in Arts. Jace Alexander Carter, Associate in Science. Elise Nicole McLeod, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science. Austin James Smock, Associate in Applied Science Criminal Justice, Law Enforcement Certificate, Corrections Certificate. Eli Matthew Bolds, Associate in Arts.
Round one is over. We'll have another graduation ceremony here in a little while, but before we depart, I have a very brief charge to our graduates. I guess the number 4 is a theme today. Mr. Severson and I did not share that number, but I have 4 pieces of advice for you, nuggets that came to me from a variety of sources over the course of the year. Number 1, graduates, after you leave Southeastern, always be thankful. A recent issue of Psychiatric Times presented a whole list of things for which we should be grateful, especially during this past most difficult year. People pulling together to accomplish great things, innovation and ingenuity. In the midst of challenges which will occur in your life, and some of which over you will have no control, you must remember to be thankful for what's going right, not just what's going wrong. Be thankful for what's working, not just what's broken. And be thankful for what's joyful in your life, not just what's saddening. In addition to being thankful, I encourage you graduates to be open. Keep in mind, your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open. I challenge you to always open your mind before you open your mouth. Mark Twain once said, an open mind leaves a chance for someone to drop a worthwhile thought in. That doesn't mean that you have to be wishy-washy. You can take a stand on an issue, but just consider all sides to become a more critical thinker and to better understand complex problems. Number 3, I challenge you to always be honest. Think about how today people dress over line by saying things like they just misspoke, or they had to walk back, or things were taken out of context. Sadly, lying has become a means to an end in our society in some context, and we simply gloss it over. I challenge you to commit yourself to truth. You may not be popular because of it, but truth is important, not just a version of truth. Live guilt-free and stress-free, knowing you are honest with others and, most importantly, honest with yourself. Ownership is vastly underrated today. Be strong, stand on your own. However, remember to own your failures just as you own your successes. And 4th and finally, be inspiring. Jeff Boss, who's a former Navy SEAL, is known for inspiring others, emphasizing that effective leaders must choose the right tactic for the right mission, no matter if it's in the boardroom or on the battlefield, as he says. Boss likes to say, nobody cares to know how much you know until they know how much you care. You should let your actions always speak for themselves. That is what will inspire people. If you have to tell them how great you are, how great your family is, how great of a job you do, then you will most likely not inspire. In fact, you might just repel. If you are really that awesome at something, then you don't need to tell anyone because they already know it. You have the skills and the training when you leave here. Use those to inspire others. My challenge to you is all of this after you leave. Practice at least one of these traits every day. That is how you can change the world. That's how you can change for the better. And that's one positive step forward at a time. This concludes our 2021 graduation ceremony. I thank you for your participation. Have a great day.